Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Reacts, where today we're going to be checking through a track from an act named Chikeraz titled Expensive Sadness. And if we switch over to here, we've actually reviewed music from this act quite recently. The last track that we listened through from Chikeraz was Smoke With My Friends, so it's great to hear more. We're going to listen through this track from start to finish, and we're going to hear what we think. And we'll just get the art up on the screen. Let's go, let's do it. Interesting. Instantly intriguing with those hi-hats.
Funny how I got here somehow. Booking.com loves me so much now. I must be looking for something that I ain't got. Where I am, what's the plan? Going forward, what the fuck, man? It's about following the heart. Now don't get me stuck too much in the past. I'm going forward, gotta go so fast. I've been taking it.
Interesting use of backing vocals there.
My sadness gets expensive. Fuck the world. I'm feeling bad, so bad, so bad. Funny how I am so fucked now. Couldn't even count all the money that I might have fucked and I lost or found. But love at some point it came around when she called and I said I hadn't even gotten out of bed. Oh shit, I'm not for saying that, but you know that I'm really the one to blame for the feeling that I've got. My credit is a sham, I'm so fast. I've been taking in your face to leave it. My sadness gets expensive. Fuck the world, I'm feeling bad.
And strings.
Feeling bad. Gonna turn it around.
Interesting use of the panning of the vocals there.
There's that one little lie to avoid myself so I can keep with my own fantastic lifestyle that haunts me whenever I shy away from it.
So this was a really interesting track. I dig it. We're going to talk about it more in the conclusion. Okay, welcome to my conclusion of this review of this track from an act named Chikeraz titled Expensive Sadness. Now, first of all, what I think this track is about. I think this track is about someone who is sort of looking at their life, their decisions, and they're trying to figure out, maybe they know what's gone wrong and they understand that it's expensive for them to try and find happiness or peace, or maybe it's expensive to try and find happiness in other people. Like we talk about other people being involved and stuff like that, maybe love interests or friends or whatever. Just like we're trying to find a sense of fulfillment, and we're talking about sort of like the toll it's taking on us, whether literal in terms of money or otherwise. We just feel bad and we're trying to find a way to cope. And I think that is something that like is really healthy to talk about. And I feel like there'll be a lot of people who can listen to this and kind of relate to it. I feel like there was more context there that I might have missed. I didn't get all the words through clearly, but the ones I did get through made sense to me, and I appreciate my time with them. In terms of things I appreciated about this track, I actually really did, in addition to the lyrics, appreciate the conversational tone of Chikeraz in this song. I thought that it was great to not be necessarily trying to sort of like do a virtuosic vocal performance. It was more a case where we had almost kind of a folksy style of approaching it. We were melodic. We did match a lot of the notes within the. It's not that we didn't try to sing. It's more that it was a very kind of casual experience. Like we weren't trying to over embellish it, and I appreciate that. It made it a bit more personable. almost like we're having a conversation with someone about their life. And when you think of someone who is struggling with their sadness and kind of the decisions and the consequences of those, you don't imagine someone who's necessarily fully charismatic and completely bouncing off the walls. It's someone who's maybe talking about it like this. So I feel like that it's approachable as well as effective. I think in addition to that, it's just the wide variety of different instruments we had within this. We had sort of brassy elements, guitars and bass and piano and drums, and these things weren't all the time. The piano kind of rung us in to a new part of the track there, like a transition between elements there. We were really sort of comfortable on the drum kit with the different 16th note hi-hat grooves that we played interesting beats there and patterns that weren't just relying on those core quarters and eighths. The bass line moved around nice and sort of succinctly and effectively. The guitars typically either playing lead parts or arpeggiating, or maybe even some sort of chords to back up some of the other things going on with the organs. But it's just little charming parts that integrated together really seamlessly and was just a really great listening experience. I had a good time with it. I think in addition to the fact that just instrumentally and thematically it was just really fascinating with it, almost kind of bittersweet melancholic thing that kind of almost celebrated the fact we're alive even if we weren't necessarily happy. It's just the actual production value of it. It's the way that it was produced. It's commercial grade in the way that it sounds. The tones of the different instruments, including the vocals, just sounded so fresh and invigorating. And when I listen to a song like this, I think, how could you have done it more effectively from that post-production process? And I don't know. It's kind of like the laughing that you hear, especially near the end on either side of the headphones. It's just really kind of fascinating. It's like you think, why am I laughing at this? Why are they laughing at this? Are they laughing because they don't know what else to do with it? It's just really intriguing. And it's that kind of almost sort of audiovisual experience of where you can kind of imagine things happening as they move around. It becomes a bit more of a sophisticated experience in that response. And I feel like that was just a really good way to develop it at that point in the song to kind of keep things sounding sort of fresh and intriguing. And I genuinely feel after listening through a couple of tracks from Chikeraz, they really know what they're doing. And so I say this without feeling the need to. If you like this track today, I feel like you'd probably have a good time with a lot of other stuff from their output at this point in time. They've got a lot of tracks on their Spotify, so I'd recommend checking them out if you're keen. But thank you. In terms of stuff before we go, in terms of stuff I feel like I'd improve or just constructive critique, I don't think there's anything I would want to adjust. I think we had the changes at the right places. It was short enough that it got the point across, and more, it was a superb song, really great use of time and its real estate. No, honestly, it was just a really solid track. So thank you for watching my review of this track from an act named Chikeraz, titled Expensive Sadness, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via the various social medias and the Spotify page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as need the help more than ever. Thought of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next SP Reacts. Spiderhands out.